Well, my Jelly Petters, my name is Jim, and this is your Daily Brogue for the 7th of July, 2026. So I was just saying, and you just heard me saying, or yesterday, that we never used modules. So previous to that, I was looking at somebody who was, you know, dishing hate out on DCC, Dungeon Crawl Classics, and, he has, let's say he should have more credibility than me, right? Because I've looked up who he was, and he's not just a dude on YouTube saying crap, but he also is not, as successful as Joseph Goodman, right? So we might have to say, maybe Joseph Goodman knows something that he doesn't, right? So we have those two things, but um, he was just talking about formatting, and some of the things that he liked about formatting are some of the things that I disliked, right? Um, he said, he really likes these play ready uh, adventures. And what he meant by play ready is basically he wanted to have something he could, wake up in the morning, um, never having seen the module before and just run it as a game, right? And that's just a weird idea to me. Like I said, I talked about last time. Um, you know, I played more or less 2 or 3 times a week for 15 years, right? And during that entire time in the 80s and 90s, nobody ever ran a module. There was no module running at all. So these are different people. Now, I also think that Goodman Games does a lot of things with conventions. So there might be some differences based on the kinds of play at conventions versus the kinds of play at a table, at a at the kitchen table. Let's say a convention table and a kitchen table are different places, right? So um, the things you might want for those two experiences might be different. Okay, this is bad. Okay, what do I have? Okay, what's in here? Um, wand of teleportation, wand of plenty. Well, I could catch this goblin and so I don't really want to bring the goblin this way, but let's bring him this way. Bring him in here. And use that up. There's only one charge. Um, on a teleportation is probably nice against the eel. Got plate armor and banded armor and a couple of bad stabs. So Let's see. I have both the dudes. Okay, so having both the dudes, we can come up here to the Bloodwort stock and heal them up. Then one guy decided that he wanted to sit in the worst possible spot. The goblin. Okay, so with the 14, the banded mail should be about as bad as the armor, as the leather armor. It'll be a little bit better because a little bit worse because it increases your stealth range. So, like I said, my previous experience as a dungeon master and as a player was dominated by people making up their own stories, which is exactly what I'd expect. And that's what other people expect. So, um, the way I think of shit, how come that thing's going? The way I think of what is good and what is bad and so forth might be a little bit different from this questing beast man's thoughts, as well as from the Goodman Games people, because I've listened to the Goodman Games people talk. They play it. They played a lot of the modules. They played a lot of the modules when they were kids, right? When they were 14, 15, 17, 23. Like I said, that is in a lot of ways the opposite of what I did. Those guys are on fire. Let's just increase the fire. Man, these guys find everything. If there's a way to die, they find it for you. Okay, as long as there wasn't a scroll in that room, we're okay. Eat a mango. Nice fruit. Nice snack. Equip N. Got a ring. All right. $325. Nice. Got basically the level remains. So let's see. So we have these different things. So where I didn't really get to, I think, is that by the 90s, I wasn't buying those TSR modules anymore, including like the one um, that I showed you, the later prep. Okay, we are definitely in runaway mode or enchanting. Um, okay, I think that this is a fairly good ring of transference. I also think the ogre killed my goblin, and that's how I got away. This is nice, except that I have not found this ogre. Um, Instead, I was buying more references. Actually, I shouldn't say that because I didn't get adventures. The adventures that I picked up were usually from Avalon Hill's RuneQuest. Um, that uh, RuneQuest. Okay, let's see. I'm blinking, recharging. I need sword equip H. So it's not great, but it could be good. It has not told me anything good about itself yet. Okay. Usually that's not a good idea, but and I died. I should not have done that. So it wasn't a good sword. The broadsword was good. I did not know that. If I did know that, I would use it and use the two enchantings on it. The sword wasn't so great. Maybe using the chainmail would have been a better idea. But you just don't know what you got until you do, right? So that's the end